All right, well, everyone, welcome to Tequila Thursdays. Actually, I'm sorry, Tequila Wednesdays. We figured everyone is going to enjoy tomorrow, take it off possibly. So we wanted to just do tequilas on a Wednesday. So everyone, welcome to Tequila Thursdays. Tequila Wednesdays. I apologize.
Tequila Thursday, Wednesday edition.
Thursday, Wednesday. This is episode 31. Tonight's episode is a must-watch for any broker that is serious about real estate funding in 2025. The market is shifting, guidelines are tightening up, and the deals that you're used to close that are easy are not easy anymore. Today we actually have we're trying something different. As everyone knows, we went to a real estate convention. We met a lot of different underwriters. We work with a lot of different underwriters. So we figured that why not start introducing different underwriters, different funders, different hedge funds to the community so that, number one, you can see that the programs really are out there. Number two, you can hear the guidelines from the funders or the fund themselves. And also, you can ask any questions. As you remember, this is a community. We want to make sure that everyone has the ability to ask questions and understand, but most importantly, learn. All right. So once again, welcome to Tequila Wednesdays, episode 31. Let's go ahead and start off by introducing ourselves. Once again, Jose Martinez. I handle business relationships, Fund Rock Capital, LendMate Capital. To my right, I have
Joe Garand, Senior Loan Officer with Fund Rock Capital. I also dabble with the business funding with LendMate as well.
Nice.
Pretty versatile. Gotta be these days, honestly.
And then to your right, you have
Albert A. Love. I run a agency called Leads to Closings, and we specialize in actually generating pipelines of business for the hard money and private lending space or commercial lending space in general.
Okay, perfect. You guys got to sound more animated. All right, let's try it again. Let's try again. Hopefully everyone drinks the tequila. To my left.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to get a shot.
There you go. To my left, Jerry, give me a minute. We're going to introduce you momentarily. To my left, I have
Lucas Mota, President of Business Development at Brokers Connection. I'm glad to be here the second week in a row. It's hopefully it becomes a pattern that I'm here more often with you guys.
If you ladies and gentlemen keep asking for him, he will go ahead and start showing up. Now, let's go give a round of applause to our special guest, and I'll let him introduce himself. Now,
That was a weak clap. What happened?
Yeah, that was a weak clap. So Jerry, go ahead. I would love for you to introduce yourself. As we mentioned, tell us a little bit about, number one, who you are, what you work on, what you do, or how our relationship actually, how we started off, and what type of what you actually do. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So go ahead, Jerry. You can take the floor.
I want to thank everybody. I appreciate you letting me join Tequila Wednesday. Even you did not say to me that I should actually have tequila when we were talking about it.
Yeah, drop the ball, man.
Next time, you know what? That's an excuse to have you on again.
There you go.
Okay. So anyway, the quick introduction, and
Jerry.
my name is Jerry Landau. I've been in the space for over 26 years at this time. I am a national direct lender. We lend our own funds, close in our own name, and we have some great product that we want to talk to you about tonight, which Jose is going to introduce. He's going to introduce, and I'm going to elaborate on some of the profiles, terms, conditions, etc., what we could actually get into. But it's the perfect opportunity for investors in order to actually, very interesting, great product, brand new to the market, being honest.
Yeah.
I've spent a year and a half trying to get it. It's out for the past 90 days.
Yes. And well, let's clap it up for Jerry.
I wanted to add something. Jerry, it doesn't have to be tequila. It could be vodka.
There you go.
Or
you know
wine.
what, guys, just to
Bourbon,
be honest,
whiskey.
I got a Mets. I got a Met glass
There we go.
with iced tea in it.
Okay.
So,
Long Island iced tea?
Long Island iced tea.
I've had people actually say to me, especially my wife, who says, "Hey, Jerry, you know what? You have to stop drinking and talking to people."
Mhm.
So,
Well, let's do this. Let's not forget our customary cheers. Cheers to Jerry.
oh, all right. Well,
Thanks
cheers,
for being on
everyone.
with us
You know
tonight.
what?
there you
Cheers,
go.
everyone.
Hold on. Albert got to pour himself a cup over here.
You know what's slowing us down, Albert.
What's
Albert
going
got
on, Albert?
nothing.
All right. So, well, cheers real quick, Albert. Everyone's waiting for you.
All right, guys.
Come on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For another episode.
Cheers.
Okay.
Jerry.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
All right. So, for everyone that's wondering, who is this handsome young man down here, Jerry, that we are introducing you to? So, Jerry is one of the lenders that we have started to work with very closely. We wanted to bring him on, and we're excited to bring him on because he offers a very, very unique product. And just like how today's topic is understanding what is out there. We are now getting into more creative financing. We now have more options for investors. So, with that being said, I guess, Jerry, want to tell us, just actually first, let me start off. Because we do have a lot of people in the community, let me ask you a question because we do focus a lot on DSCRs, fix and flips, new construction, bridge loans. Which one of the four is your favorite?
My favorite.
Your
My
favorite.
is to be totally honest. The
Yes.
favorite is when I talk in front of an event at a conference. It is the DSCR cash out refinance.
Nice. There you go. Okay. Now, can we ask why? Why is that your favorite? Why is that something or that you would?
Hold on, Mo.
I think we froze.
We
Yeah, it
froze.
looks like
I
we
think we
froze.
frozen.
How do we freeze, guys?
The mics didn't freeze.
The mics is
No,
still
but
rolling.
the mic is inside of here.
Mm.
But then it's gonna reconnect.
No one stepped on the thing, right? You guys didn't touch the wire.
Abby?
Yes.
Oh, you
Touch the
did. You
wire?
did.
No.
You did.
Hold on, it's gonna reconnect.
What do you mean?
Right now.
The wire.
No.
There's no internet connection. Come on. Wait, it's rebooting. All right.
There
Sorry
we
about
go.
that.
There we go. We're back. Put up.
We're
We need
back.
some round of applause.
We're
We need a
back.
round of applause.
Sorry about that, everyone. I guess you know what? You guys are crashing the server. Look at that.
Too many people in here.
Too many people in
Too
here.
many
You hear me?
people.
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
we can
Oh,
hear
wait. We cannot hear. We cannot
No, we
hear
can't.
us.
No, we can't. We good.
Oh, yeah? Can you hear us, Jerry?
Sean, you hear us, Sean?
Sean is there.
Jerry,
Sean,
can you
Coleman.
hear us?
Jerry.
Hold on. Give me.
About to do sign language.
Yeah.
Are we muted right there?
Hold on. Man.
Just I think I give him a second. The
Looks like we're
technical
muted.
Difficulties.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. All right,
There
we're
we
back.
go.
We're back. Sorry about that, everyone. We think we crashed the servers. Too many people coming on. Remember, we're not just on Zoom. We also have the community as well. So, getting back to it, and I apologize. So Jerry, I think where did we left off? We left off that Jerry's favorite is a DSCR, right? That's your
Cash
favorite
out.
cash out DSCR.
Cash out.
Cash
yes, yeah.
out. Absolutely.
Okay, can you tell us why? Can you elaborate?
Oh, so as I would to give it an understanding. First of all, there's a couple different ways we got to look at this. Basically, somebody already owns the property. They're coming to me in order to actually get money, and usually at the day of closing, hopefully they get a check. The bigger the check, the best friend I just made that day. That's it. Plus, the other caveat is when you're dealing with a DSCR, and again, listen, I'm transparent. I don't care. At the end of the day, if somebody's buying, then I usually have to deal with a realtor or a wholesaler. And you know what that means, right? That means all they want to know is the day. When are we closing?
Right.
And so like this on the cash out refi, it's all nice, smooth and sailing. You know what? Don't have to. But listen, I take them all. Every deal is a good deal usually.
Now,
right?
on the DSCR, Jerry, there's one particular program that you do stand out, right? I want everyone to understand that. So Jerry does not just do regular DSCRs.
Correct.
right? Please tell the
That is
community.
why I'm here tonight to tell everybody in this community about the opportunity that I have.
Yes,
So
sir.
right now, we came out to the market, national. What we could do is a second lien CR mortgage.
Hold on. Second what?
Yeah, it kind of
That's-
broke up for a second.
No, we heard you. We heard. I think he heard you correctly, but we heard you. What was it? A second position?
Second position lien DSCR mortgage.
There's no such thing. You're being too creative here, Jerry. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. That is what we're bringing to the table today.
Okay, all right. So second position DSCR.
Correct.
I'm sure that you need to have a 800 credit score to qualify for something like that, right?
Probably 900.
660.
660.
Ooh.
Where you pen and pad? I think you've been writing this down. 660 credit score.
Watch it back on
660
YouTube
credit.
later, bro.
Second position.
Second position.
What's the CLTV?
We could go to 70% as long as it qualifies rental income that it could pay the first and the second mortgage.
Okay, Jerry, for people out, for a lot of our members that are just starting off, can you elaborate? What does the CLTV mean? Please.
So what we're talking about here is that, well, just to give you an understanding, I'll break it down as in a different way.
Please.
We're going to do an appraisal. This is the perfect loan on a second position where somebody's closed in a very low interest rate 5 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere between 3.5% or lower, up to about 5.5%. They basically today have equity, could be 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. We could go up to over $1 million in a loan on a second position, as long as we.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's a quick applause.
I needed to
People
clap.
are gonna
Quickest clapping I've ever heard. What's going on?
Go
You
ahead.
gotta let the applause.
Oh yeah,
Right up.
Go ahead,
So,
Jerry.
The
cliffhanger.
answer is that how do we actually have to qualify? We
Mhm.
qualify with a new appraisal. We
Okay.
got value of the property. Now we also understand that there is already rental income coming into the property. So we have to prove rental income, a lease, rental deposits, and that rental income needs to be able to pay for the first position mortgage still, which hasn't gone away yet, and the new second position loan.
So we
Okay.
got a question from Peter Milazzo. So Peter asks, can you explain when and what situation you would use this loan? So let's say someone has a first position on the property. They got the loan in 2020. That interest rate's probably going to be around 3%. Could be a little lower, a little higher.
During
Right?
the pandemic, a lot of homeowners, right? They refinanced or purchased their property during that time.
So let's say now it's 2025. Someone wants to take some equity out of that property. They don't want to refinance that first position because it just doesn't make sense. Why would you get out of a 3% to get into a mid-6 to
You'll
mid-7?
never see it again.
Yeah,
Why not just do a HELOC?
That's a good question.
Jerry, let me ask that question. Why not just do a HELOC? Wait, do
All
they?
right, so the difference between what I'm offering today and a HELOC is a banking product, which means a brick and mortar, a line of credit. Bank says, okay, you get a $200,000. Here's a checkbook. When you use it, that's when we're actually going to charge you interest on that, right? I don't have that particular product. I'm not looking at tax returns. I'm not looking at W-2 income. This is a debt service loan. So this is a loan that's going to be in second position, fully amortizing for 30 years. And what we're going to do is that it's all it's the same exact product as a first position debt service loan, a DSCR. The only thing is now we're able to go in second position and provide people the equity that's sitting in that property without actually taking away that very low interest rate that they do have from 2019 to 2022, where those rates are never going to be seen again. Probably not. Let's be honest with everybody. Okay. And at the end of the day, this is going to help them as far as investors go, pull equity out, and then be able to go ahead and buy that next property. You got to leverage. Everything in the real estate is about leveraging what you currently have to get to the next step.
Correct. Now, you want to repeat? So, Peter, You
Yeah,
want to read what
just
Peter
to
said?
answer, because Peter asked, is this only for rental properties or homeowners? Properties, owner occupied. This is for rental properties because we're talking about DSCR. So we're talking about debt.
Rental, again, let's say rental properties, but we can close in a personal name or in an entity name, as long as
Oh.
we could verify that it's a provable income producing rental property.
Nice. All right. You're welcome, Peter. Peter said thank you. Yeah, I mean, Jerry, yeah, I don't think that many, a lot of people don't really understand or just may not, as of right now, take
Stanley
in.
has a rent haze.
Stanley his hand raised.
Stanley. I want, who's that?
How you doing, gentlemen?
Good,
How's
good,
it
Stanley.
going,
How are
Stan?
you?
No question. Now, Jerry, you said they can close on their personal or their business name. Now, if they close on their personal, if they close on their business name, will the mortgage pop up on their personal credit?
Oh, good question.
Great question.
Great question.
The
Okay.
answer is no. This is still a business purpose loan. It will not appear on credit report.
Nice.
Very
That's
nice.
awesome.
Does the
That's a
HELOC
gem.
show up? Yes. So this one is better.
100%. Yeah, and just understanding a HELOC, there's a lot of qualifications for a HELOC. As a matter of fact,
very hard.
Higher credit score.
higher
Definitely need a
credit
higher
score,
than
full
a
doc.
660.
That's one of the biggest things. It's a full doc program, right? I don't think that they're doing HELOCs on DSCRs, and that's where Jerry really stands out.
I think we
Hold
froze
on.
for a second.
Yeah.
Did we freeze?
This program is way better than a HELOC.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's much better than a HELOC. No tax returns, no income docs.
Right.
Lower.
it's crazy.
The credit score is a 660. A HELOC can
And
be like a
what's the loan
680.
to value on this?
And it's
70. Yeah, we're still frozen. Yeah, too many people
Albert,
here.
stop.
Crap.
No, it's the. It's
Make
the
sure you
internet.
don't hit the thing.
Make sure you're not hitting the
Yeah,
cable.
we're back.
Jerry,
Which
you're
cable?
crashing.
Am
You're
I
making.
missing
For
something?
it.
Which
I
cable?
don't care about the crash, but
There
I
is
like
no
to learn
cable.
about this
I'm
loan scenario thing. So
I'm mute over there.
Oh, who's that? Who's that?
any,
Oh,
any day
Sean?
now.
Oh, it's Jay.
Nah, we're gonna get a
Sean.
little bit back up.
All right, yeah.
Just give it a second. The feed's gonna adjust.
Over there.
You guys, you hear me?
There we go. Oh,
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we could hear you.
We definitely hear you.
There we go. There we go.
I just want
And we're
to
back.
comment on this.
Yes, please.
Because this is breaking news, we are breaking the internet.
We are. We are.
Crazy.
That's what it is. Jerry, to be honest with you, this has not happened before. And you know what?
It must
This is
be
your
all these
fault.
new
This is
inviting
your
guests
fault.
We brought on.
No, all right. So let's go ahead and leave it to the floor. I mean, I know we have a lot of our viewers or a lot of the community. A lot of them do real estate investing. Does anyone have any questions? Sean Colby. There we go. All right. Sean Colby. Well, Sean Colby, do you have any questions for Jerry?
Yeah. So when I hear second lien, I get excited.
Okay.
Probably not my field though, because people always ask me for gap.
Mm-hmm.
Gap this, gap that. Can I get a down payment for my commercial loan, residential? So this is something for somebody that has cash flow in a commercial or residential, right?
Residential 1 to 4. Let me just say that.
Oh, that's okay, got it.
Yeah.
And they'll need to come to the loan, so it'd be cash out. They don't need a down payment. So the second lien it'd be a new loan on that deed, right?
It'll be a new loan. It'll be a brand new deed.
Gotcha. All right, that's all I had. Yep.
Yeah. No worries. No
Hold on,
worries.
let me. Can I piggyback on that? And
Sure.
one aspect of it is gap when you think about it. Just like they were talking before, there's a lot of investors that own properties at a low interest rate. Now, there's a lot of people in this space, as you see where the economy's going, that need capital to invest. Either they're going to touch their primary, their investment, but they don't want to touch it first.
Yep.
So it's actually gapping the next investment, not the current one they have, but now you're allowing clients to tap into equity and get capital off of assets that they can't pull equity out of. Because either they have 15 years, they don't want to extend another 30, or the rate. So that's why I would look at the gap. Because a lot of people are sitting on assets that they can't pull money out of.
Yeah.
This opens the door so they could buy another asset, pull money out of their existing portfolio, at the same time keeping that DSCR low. Just want to piggyback that.
I want to add something to that.
Is that Stanley over there?
Yes, that's Stanley.
Yes.
Stanley.
Also
Stanley,
known
man,
as Sexy Choco.
that is Stanley. That's great. Oh, that was beautiful. At the end of the day,
I also wanted to add something. The appraisal. Is
Yes.
that a full appraisal that needs to get redone, or is it like a drive-by type scenario?
Good
so
question.
we've had some issues. It's supposed to really be a drive-by because that's really what the guideline says. But some of the AMCs have issues that they feel that paying them almost regular price, which is about $550, the appraiser wants to go in and see the house because he feels, hey, I'm providing a report of value and it's my license. So we're having a little bit of an issue dealing with the AMCs. But at the end of the day, that's why, guys, it's live TV, right? I mean, live
Yeah.
podcasting, right?
Live and
Yeah.
direct.
Now,
You know,
Yeah.
every AMC sucks. That's the bottom line.
now, just getting back to this segment, and Jerry, I would love for you to chime in. Obviously, we're going to get back into. I just want to get everyone back involved into just asking questions in the segment. Now, as far as what you have seen out there, I know you're the direct lender, but what are as a lender, what are your common deal killers? What are your red flags when you see a deal? When you get a deal in, whether it's a DSCR or whether it's let's stick to a second position, what are your common deal killers?
Did we freeze?
Yeah.
What is it?
We need to get some bigger. We need to get some bigger servers. Do you see any wires next to me?
The laptop is right below you.
I know, but there are no wires next to me. So
Maybe I gotta tighten something somewhere, you know, a router or some shit.
we got to.
There's a lot of wind in New York.
It's windy up in here, man.
They, they,
You know
They-
what happens, guys?
they
We
in-
stream on
they in
multiple
Long Island.
platforms. So what happens as we gotten broader? Of course, you had to expand to Instagram, to YouTube,
Mute.
plus stream on our normal platform. So as we grow as a company, just so everyone's aware, these blackouts, every time this happens, we have to what they call increase our bandwidth. Meaning like increase our storage. So this is it sucks that we black out at these times, but as a community, it's a great thing because that means that's so many people signing in. So we apologize to the whole community that this is happening. But on the back end, just so you know, it's almost like one of those good problems. I'd rather have a stream somewhat crash because everybody's on than a stream for the whole time and there's only 2 people involved. You
Right.
follow me? But trust me, we're trying to catch up, having the bandwidth to support the community because that's our goal. So just bear with us
Go to
while
the
we do
bathroom,
that,
right?
while we
Mush.
try to catch up tech-wise.
Stanley, thank you
Who's
very
this
much.
Participant Stanley is very knowledgeable.
Yes,
That's outstanding.
this is one of our
Stanley's killing
affiliates.
it.
This guy
Now-
knows a lot.
Either he knows or he's making it up. We can't tell yet. I'm gonna ask
All right.
ChatGPT.
So Jerry, quick. I'm not sure if you heard the question, but the question was, as with your program, what are common deal killers or red flags?
So with my program, we'll talk about the common killer on a second lien
Yes.
position mortgage here. The common problem that's going to affect it is, again, the deal killer. There's no such thing as a deal killer, but what it comes down to is the client kills the deal. Why? The market rent is only going to be able to support so much of how much money they could actually get out, right? And at the end of the day, then they look at it and let's assume I could go down to $30,000. So that's the minimum on the loan. That's pretty good, right?
Wow.
Right?
At the end of the day, sometimes people go, well, you know what? $30,000 really doesn't do a whole lot for me. Or again, if it's $45,000, really change why I want to do this. So that's the common where people actually feel that the money is just not worth it to move forward. That's up to them.
Jerry, you say something very important because a lot of people that you're dealing with are investors, right? Or just only investors. They should be investors. It should not be. This is not their primary residence. This is only an investment property, which means that it's a business. Now, something just hit me. $30,000, ladies and gentlemen. The SBA alone isn't giving out a $30,000 term loan. Their max term is 10 years. You have now the ability to get $30,000 over 30 years. Am I correct, Jerry? It's a 30-year
Yes, sir.
term. What does that payment look like for
I don't know.
everyone?
I was just gonna guess that's probably like $131 a month.
Right, it's $100 and something, ladies and gentlemen. It's the SBA everyone loves the SBA. Why? Because it's a 10-year term. Now think about it. You're putting a asset. You're taking collateral. You're taking money out of a property that now, even at $30,000, a 30-year term, you're looking at $100 and something payment for 30 grand. You understand? So whenever you take out money, and I guess Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong. One of the things that I'm assuming you always ask is, what are you going to use this money for? Correct? Like there has to, because it's an investment or it's a business transaction. I'm assuming there has to be something on an ROI in some case, which I'm assuming probably doesn't kill the deal. But you want to know if this person or this individual, whether it was him or her, what are they going to use the money for? Right?
Correct. That's a great question, but I don't know. I already have the reason in writing.
Okay.
And the reason is, as a DocuSign, when I send it to you, I'm going to be using this money to buy another real estate property.
Correct.
Done. I don't care if they buy a car, if they go to Japan, anywhere they go.
Now, are you capped as far as states?
We're doing 42 states right now. We do have a couple what we call dry states out there. So
Okay.
I can land first position DSCR, but I can't do second in Nevada, California, Arizona, South Dakota, North Dakota, Vermont, probably Utah. You could probably throw in there at this time.
Quick
Okay.
question.
All right. Can I chime in real quick?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'm very engaged in this. Just for the community's sake, I know Jose asked the question: what red flags are there with a client? And we're talking about these avenues. I need everyone to understand. There's a perspective I was taught that I would like the community to employ. Right? When you speak to your client, assume they're lying every time. And this is what I mean, especially with the DSCR space. There's a lot of homeowners that have their properties free and clear. They're worried to rent and they under rent their properties, or they don't really know what their property rents for. So no matter what they say, I always double check their rents with Zillow, with Redfin, or any web-based rental programs. Because a lot of these landlords, I'm being honest with you, you would think, why do you think people buy a lot of assets and they always say the term value add? Because landlords normally do not rent at market value and they kill their own deal. I've had so many deals where they tell me, oh, I can't refinance, my property isn't debt service. Because every loan officer, every person going out, broker out there is too lazy to verify the rent that.
Did we freeze again?
At least it's we. Let him speak. Oh, what the
Stanley's
heck's
going.
happening?
That's crazy.
It froze again.
It must be crazy on TikTok.
Yeah, nah, it's Zoom. It's Wednesday. We never really do it on Wednesday.
Shut the fuck up. It's Wednesday, bro.
He's right. Listen, man.
There's something wrong with the hardware.
Albert, go pray,
and the
bro.
software.
Pray, come back.
Albert, it's
That's
you.
it.
You're
Very simple.
You're the bad luck, Albert.
What
Guys,
question do you have, Albert?
I've got 1 minute.
I'm
Yeah,
just coming out right now.
you gotta
Mush,
mute.
mush.
We got a mute.
During the podcast, it's very rare that I'm on the video.
There we go.
There we go.
Stanley, you're the host, brother. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going,
Stanley,
please.
though.
Are we
You
unmuted?
like it, right?
Yeah, just keep going, Stanley. I think Albert had a question too.
Well, before that, I just want to address. So Jay asked, or Jay stated, put on the chat, can you send a list of the states that you lend or do not lend in? Yes. So all this information, we do have a one-pager. We're going to put it in the community. The community is going to have access to all this. Remember, at the end of the day, this is for everyone here. This is for you guys. We will put a one-pager of the states, the requirements, the credit score, minimum loan amount, max loan amount, if any. But yes, you guys will have the guidelines in the communities for you so that you are able to submit your deals. Now, how do you submit your deals? Everyone has a pricer. If you do not have a pricer, please let us know. If you obviously you do have a pricer. On the pricer, you're gonna put DSCR refinance, and there's a comment section. You want it to be evaluated for a second position. Okay, that's all you have to do. In the comment section, review for second position. That is all. Same exact thing, because it still qualifies under the DSCR refinance. We still need to know the estimated mortgage balance. Or the mortgage balance. We still need to know the estimated property value. We still need to know the rental income, taxes, insurance, rent. If it's 100% occupied, or what is the occupancy percentage? And also, too, what else, Joe? What else do we have to know?
I was just letting you listed like 18 things, man.
I think
Well,
you
come
pretty
on,
much
you had
you pretty
Yeah.
much put a well-rounded answer.
Now, Jerry,
Quick
At
question.
the end of
Jer-
the day, gentlemen, it's easy. We also, one important thing is actually what is the current mortgage payment?
okay.
Quick question. Is there any prepayment penalties for this?
It's also a good question.
Yes, there is. This is a DSCR. You do
Okay.
have a standard 5-year step down prepayment.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
what that means is a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Interesting. Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. There was one question that I wanted to ask you. What about occupancy? Does that matter to you? Obviously, it has the DSCR, but the DSCR, I'm assuming do you request leases, or do you look at the appraisal? Is it the lowest of the two? How do you determine the rental income?
So we're gonna use an appraiser.
Okay.
But again, we're going to also collect the lease,
Mm.
and we do want that lease to actually be the highest amount that they could actually collect. So, meaning that, you know what? Fair market rent is always going to play a part in this, but we just heard, I think Stanley was talking about rental, and everybody's always going low, right? But the idea behind this though is, listen, if you're collecting 1450, we need to bump that up a little bit, probably, right? At the end of the day.
Okay.
So we look at that. So yes, so we're looking at fair market rent from the appraiser, but we're also collecting the lease itself.
So question,
And
real quick. Let's say the property is unoccupied at the moment. They wouldn't be eligible, or would they be able to go off market rent for the property? And
No, we need the property to definitely be occupied on this. On the
Gotcha.
first position, the answer is no. On the second position, definitely 100%. Somebody needs to pay those two mortgages back.
And if it's a 1 to 4, let's say it's a 4-unit and 3 are occupied, one's unoccupied.
We could do that.
Yeah?
That's a good question.
All right.
That will work.
Okay.
What are the questions, Joe? You're usually the one with questions.
Hey,
You have them right
Now
here.
I have a question.
No, hold on. Let's just ask. The community has a couple questions first.
So-
Peter Milazzo asked where exactly is the community in the community, please. I'm guessing that's about the form.
Yes.
You receive a welcome email. I'm gonna make sure that I will resend it to you so you have the pricer. It's a master form that when you pick real estate, it goes to all the programs that we have within real estate, and DSCR refinance. You're gonna get to Jerry's.
I think
program.
he was also maybe.
No,
maybe
that's
he was
when-
talking about the guidelines because remember.
No, that we're just introducing Jerry today, so we don't have his guidelines in the community just yet.
No, I know that he's asking. I think Peter's asking where would he find them? Or yes,
I think he was talking about the pricer.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
there
he
you
was
go.
asking about the pricer. So
Okay.
you got it in the welcome email. I'm gonna make sure that we send it to you, Peter, so you have it. Sean Comby asked the question that needs no introduction. Does size matter?
No, he's not asking size
Not
matter.
what he said.
He said he does not have a
Does the size
size
matter for the submarine?
No, Sean Coleman, his size does not matter, but that is not it. I'll translate what he was trying to say is Sean Coleman asked, don't have a sizer. Is that for subs?
You're talking about the
So a
pricer?
pricer. It's a pricer, Sean, and I'll make sure that shoot me an email. You have our contact information. Shoot me an email and I'll send you the link.
I
No.
think he said the size matter.
No, it does not. All right. Now Jay asked if someone has a primary residence, but they have a garage converted into a rental unit, assuming it's permitted, does the second DSCR work in this scenario?
Nah.
Wait,
so-
Jerry, this is Jerry. Jerry.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. That's it. That's a plain answer you got. There's no. Jay, it does not, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't live in the property. Even if it's a 4-unit and you live in 1 unit, that's not considered DSCR. Then, it's a primary and you have rental income to supplement your own personal income. But
Yeah, I mean, again, if listen, at the end, if we have a 2-unit and somebody does live there as their primary and they're renting out, the of a unit, yeah, we'll definitely take that. That's not an issue. You know,
I'm
we
sorry.
also we do not we want it to be that first that when the person is showing that they live there, it's really again, it's not supposed to be a primary residence when somebody's living there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Rob,
I'm sorry.
got
I
it.
am laughing
Get it.
because this was an actual question. He did think that the question was, does size matter? You crying? You crying? Sorry, let's keep going.
I've never seen Lucas.
I've never seen him cry. Wow. Okay. So all right. So the
Hey,
pricer.
listen, I don't know, man. Man, there's 5 guys here, and we all do realize size does matter, right? Come on.
Joe, you wouldn't know,
On
Joe.
another note,
You
on
wouldn't
another
know,
note,
Joe. Not you.
I have a question on another note.
Yes, Stanley.
Now we talk about market rent. Now, certain lenders I know do exceptions. So my question for you, Jerry, is that even though let's use even numbers, $1,000 is market rent, but now the landlord could show that he rents because in certain markets you could have market rent of $1,000, but the landlord throws in parking spot, they throw in washer and dryers. So now $1,000 rent is really 1,200. If they could document by checks, down payments, I mean, or deposits in the account, will they let them go above market rent if they could document they've been receiving it as rent? So, for example, market rent's 1,000 rent, but they could show they've been receiving 1,200 a month for rent. Would you accept that?
The answer is we're not going to take in laundry. We're not going to take in parking garages. But what we are working on here, like on DSCR loans that we all have familiar with in first position, we usually go to 125% of the rental income. And we are working on that actually because the guidelines do keep on changing for the better. So we are looking at going to 125% of
Oh,
No,
no
but
way.
they keep going, bro. It's just us. We get stuck.
You think they could see us?
Yeah,
too?
no, they're gonna answer.
All right.
Stanley, keep it
Stanley's
going.
there.
Shit.
Yeah, we need Gabe just asked a question too. So that's,
The size matter, bro.
Yo,
I
that's
didn't hear the
crazy.
answer.
It'll
That
probably
was
be
a
there
very
by
good
August.
question.
Right.
that's a
To
huge.
laugh.
Listen,
we're
community,
back,
pay
we're
attention to
back.
what he's saying
Listen
right
to
now.
what he's saying.
The conversations we're having right now are not. The majority of lenders are not having these conversations. I want everyone to understand. This is your not just because I'm part of the community. This is a master class of exceptions of stuff that other people can't do. And since most of the industry can't do it, you won't ever hear a conversation like this.
Correct.
So I hope everybody's paying attention. I don't care what lenders you deal with or what masterminds you're part of. If you really pay attention to the gems you're having right now, you can get off the Zoom and jump in any other community. And if you repeat what you're hearing now, you will automatically become the master class senior in that class. There's no other communities providing you
Yeah.
these kind of products. So I'm saying when we're asking these questions, please engage, ask your questions, because you won't have this type of conversation in any other group. Thank you, Jerry.
We were just
I see a question from Gabe Santiago.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gabe wrote, in the event that the landlord just raised the rent to match market rent, how many months bank statements are needed with the higher rent scenario?
Okay, well, we're always going to ask for 2 consecutive bank statements. Standard DSCR product. The answer is that if another little tidbit that we could do, we could use a cash receipt
Hold on,
showing
Jerry. Don't call it tidbits. You're giving gems out here. They're diamonds. Don't call it tidbits. Don't act like
They
it's
are
smaller,
diamonds.
Stan.
like it's crumbs. It's not crumbs what you're giving the community. You
cash
call them
receipts are the
gems.
best, man. They're
Guys.
like, hey, you know what? I have a client. I'm actually closing him next week. The guy is actually says that his tenant is actually not paying the full amount of rent that's due. They're
Oh,
behind by a few months, but he keeps paying his hard money lender. I basically gave him, here's a piece of paper, says cash receipt on it, write down what the rental income is, sign it, and send it to me. And that's what we use.
Do you think they're going to exclude this program in New York City if Mamdani becomes mayor?
I have no idea why. Listen, we
Go
wanted to
again.
do
Go
your-
again, Avi.
Because I'm going to explain to you because there's going to be a lot of rent freezes. There's going to be a lot of halts on the ability to raise rents or even collect your freaking rents in the New York City area.
I got a little input.
If this guy becomes mayor, just quick question. I wanted to throw it out
in
there.
Manhattan, rent could be like 5K, 6K, 7K a month. So I don't think it's like really.
It could be 25,000 a month.
Yeah, it's a huge outlier when we talk about. the
Yeah,
other
but
50
we're
states.
we're talking about investors who are renting multifamily units in Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx.
Those rents are not 5,
See?
6K a
One
month.
Those
guys,
rents are
what
expensive.
They're
well,
At
one
the end of the
thing
day,
Brooklyn's not
one thing
Manhattan.
one thing we don't do is fearmonger because investors find opportunities in every space.
I like that.
No, if you speak to a real investor, the market goes up, he finds something to buy. The
Right.
market goes down, he finds something to buy. And a stable, low income neighborhood, he finds something to buy.
I was talking.
Real investors look for opportunities. Doesn't matter who the mayor is.
All right,
These products that you're getting are everything.
Stanley.
His answer is right now, no, Avi. It's not.
It pertained, and I know you're a heavy defender of the party, but I just wanted to say, but what I wanted to say was that it could play out interestingly, right? Because we're talking about we're talking
This
about
is
a
all
very
speculation.
sensitive
This is all
speculation. Well, I think the train is already headed in that direction. It's not too far fetched.
Well, listen, even whatever anyone's position is, it's that's not even the question here. But right now, I mean, one of the things Stanley tells me all the time is there's investors that run away from
Right.
situations, but some investors may look at this as a positive and run into it, right? Because now no one is investing in it. Prices are probably going to go
Right.
down, right? So it all just depends on your appetite as far as an investor.
That's my guy.
And that's what Stanley was mentioning is understand every investor is different. Some people like high risk type of investments. Some people like lower risk, safetier type of investments.
We got some questions.
I just wanted to throw a little monkey wrench in there. That's all.
That was a good one because,
It's a great one.
It's a
great
good one, yeah.
So it's a great one because just to play into it a little bit, Madani comes in, right? Rent freezes go down, the market goes down. Listen, you're telling me I can get a 30-unit building that right now goes from in Manhattan for $10 million. I can get it for 5. I might be able to get it for 4. Because remember, these politicians only staying for 8 years.
Yeah.
I'd buy it
4
and then
years.
wait till the next
Sit on it.
Great point.
next mayor.
Great
And
point.
now
Great point.
and now let's say another
said.
mayor comes in. The value add is politics. You think this is market? No matter if it's
Nice.
a stock market, real estate, politics is part of the game.
There we go.
So
I love it.
don't be scared of this. When people talk politics, look for opportunities. Your opportunity is not always a flip where you're buying it and selling it in 6 months. Sometimes your opportunities you're buy and hold.
So
That's why they call different strategies.
Great point. Great
So
point.
what that means is if you have a property with equity and you have a great first position APR, let's go ahead and do a second. Take it out. Take the equity out with a second position. This is why we have Jerry
There we
for.
go.
This is why
There we
Jerry
go.
is here, because this is what we're going to start doing. And that's it. Just looking at it from a different perspective. Do you see the glass half empty or do you see the glass half full?
It's funny that we're mentioning this because we just had a conversation before about having gated content and the type of content that we're putting out right now. Not for nothing. The diamonds that we're putting out is unbelievable. I don't think you're going to find this anywhere in this space. And I have to say, you guys are really doing amazing.
Thank you.
And just we got to keep at it. If whoever's out there listening to this right now, I mean, this is pure gold on so many different levels, on the nuances within the space itself, the different types of programs that are available, how you can actually make money in this space.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you make money? By offering products that no one else has. And guess what? Now you guys have that opportunity
Correct.
due to the fact that we have Jerry here and Fund Rock Capital is going to be working directly and we're going to have access to those programs and we're going to continue to get access to these types
Correct.
of programs.
Albert, I don't mean to cut you off, but I
Yes.
definitely want to put the floor on there because we want to take advantage of Jerry being here.
Yeah,
So, Jerry, we're trying to take
Peter
advantage
and
of you.
Dini, two
Jerry's not only the president, he's also a client. Jerry.
Joe, you want to read what Peter's comment?
Peter asks, as a sales tool, what does this product offer to an investor that most loan brokers can't offer them?
Great question.
He's new at this, is what it says. So he's new at this. So as a sales tool, I'm trying to say. So as a sales tool, what does this product offer to an investor
I could
that
elaborate.
most loan brokers can't offer them? So let's let Jerry, please, if you can answer, and then we'll elaborate.
Well, as far as, when you're talking about this second lien position, unless somebody, listen, I could personally tell you this, there's credit unions out there. You're talking about going full doc. And when you're talking about a second position in an investment property, I'm not talking Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I'm talking the Long Island, credit union here, right? At the end of the day, they're going $50,000.
Yeah.
That's max. They're not giving you anything. And the second idea is a loan broker. Yeah, the same loan broker, guys, let me explain to you, is coming to me to get this product finalized so we could actually close. There are not many people out there that have this second position product.
Yep.
Where you going with it?
Peter, just go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna add, on a second position, usually you're gonna need a much higher credit score as well. You're gonna need a lot more documents. So this,
Right.
what Jerry's offering here, what he's mentioning, the product he has is very rare. It's a gem in the field.
Yep.
You're not gonna find this anywhere.
Peter, and understand this: once you join the community, you join a network, right? You join a network of, let me just say, a confident individuals. Honestly, what is going to set you apart, or why? Sales tools. What does this product offer to an investor that most loan brokers can't? Other loan brokers don't have this product. You do, right? Just like Jerry said. Who else is offering this? No one is. You just mention it or put it on social media. Try that. Put it on your social media. I can assure you, people will go crazy over it. Remember, no one wants to touch their first position, and if for whatever reason they want to get a HELOC, they need a 680 score, just as Joe had mentioned.
And taxes,
Right.
income docs.
This is correct. This is a no income documented, no personal income documentation funding program. This is strictly based on the appraisal, strictly based on the rental income. It's affordability, right? That's what a DSCR loan is. It's affordability. Can you afford the payment? Can you, taking this money out of, can your rental property afford it?
I have a rookie question though.
Yes, sir.
Is it based on the rent, or is it based on the property value, or is it based on both? If I'm gonna take the money out and I'm gonna do a new bathroom, or I'm gonna refurbish my house, or whatever it is, it's gonna bring value up and I'm gonna raise the rent. Does that count? How does it work? I'm not really
I know the answer to that, but Jerry, please, did you
Okay,
hear?
so the answer is that it's not. So when you talk about doing a new bathroom and raising the rent, this product is currently situated when you're working on today's rent, the value of today's property, which means because you went out in 2021 and bought a property for $300,000, but today it's 450. Okay, that means you have $150,000 equity spread right now currently.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're lending against at this point. And the current rent that you should be collecting today, especially rents have been going up, you should be able to actually increase that every single year. And if you have a $450,000 house and you only have a $250,000 mortgage, this is the time, as just to go back to Stanley said a moment ago, is like, guys, do you want to do gap funding 30%? Or do you want to do this on a 30-year amortized loan?
Yeah. 100%. That's just it. It's plain and simple. Just do the math, do the numbers, right? And if you're gonna do this, put it into an amortization calculator. See what your monthly payment is gonna look like. See what the rate's gonna look like. Rates. Can I ask you that, Jerry? Where do the rates stand?
We start at 8.75.
Okay, perfect. Now, just what is the max?
The max?
Uh-huh.
Where we could actually end up going to?
Yes.
You mean in terms of
Yeah.
where the max is on Again,
Don't even touch the max on this, because if you're worried about the rate, this isn't the program for you.
Correct. No, that's what.
This is the opportunity of it.
This is what the reason why I say the max is, to be honest with you, because no one else is getting it. You're not touching the first, right?
Well, I'm telling you, listen, we're starting at 8.75.
You're starting at 8%. I think you're selling. You know what? Forget about that. Just give it everyone.
His competitors at 36% a year.
Yeah, everyone. Think about it. What are they going to do? They're going to take out a business loan at 30%. They're going to take out a, And then I was thinking, what would someone else take, right? And someone else is going to take what? Maybe let's say they would take out a fixer-upper loan of some sort. Remember, that appears on your personal credit, right? This is strictly based on your business. It appears, right, on the LLC. Am I correct, Jerry? Right, on the business. It doesn't impact your business.
Or we could close in a personal name.
Correct.
Just going back to it. Now, we didn't have a personal name 90 days ago. We only had where you can actually close in an entity name.
Yeah.
But then we were able to open it up to personal names. So the guidelines change. They get easier. As the program stays around a little bit longer, we get the feedback. Why are we doing personal names? A lot of investors went ahead and closed, 2020 at a 3% rate. So at the end of the day, now those investors that still might be landlords today, it gives them the opportunity to close. They didn't do an LLC. They went full doc back then, right?
Oh, so that's the reason why then you're doing it, because in order for you to close, I get it. So because the first position is closed under their name,
Yeah, it has to be vested.
it has to be vested. Okay, vested the same way. So you can't close it in an LLC in a second position.
Well, we could. The answer is that we weren't actually doing personal names, personal loans beforehand. But if somebody wants to close in their personal name or in an entity this time, it's perfectly okay. So we got flexibility in order to actually close. But I'm saying a lot of people went to Fannie, Freddie, right? And they were closing at 2.75.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end, they're never going to see that again.
Quick question.
So the answer is that we just assumed right away when this program came out, it's not really, they weren't investors.
Yeah, got it.
But how many people do you really have out there that did close at 3, 3.25, 3.5, right?
Well,
got a good amount.
All right. So now we have a question. Andini has a question. Joe, you want to read out the question?
Yes. Andini wrote, "What if the owner is on the deed but not on the mortgage? Does the property still qualify? Also, what if the rental is just for a room?" I know the room is not. That's not happening. To be honest,
the room is not happening. The answer is like the scenario. Just understand if they're the owner, but they're not on the mortgage, or they're not on the deed.
Scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah, Lucas messing around with the size.
Lucas, scroll up. He said, "What if the owner is on the deed but not on the mortgage?"
Okay. Well,
how about this? Andini, can you unmute yourself? You want to be able to just ask your question correctly?
Yeah, get involved, Andini.
Come on, Andini.
Don't be shy.
How you doing, Andini? How are you?
How you doing?
Welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry, that was supposed to be a clap. Sorry.
Very loud.
Go ahead, Andini. I apologize.
Yeah, the thing is the it's owned by mother and daughter, and the mother is on the mortgage but not a resident. So the daughter is U.S. citizen. Like they have they rent a room, and it's a balance of the mortgage is 80K and the value of the property is 550.
Jerry?
So I'm not sure if they're renting a room, because I heard that room thing again. So I'm not really sure. The answer is that there's people that actually have a mortgage, and so I spoke with a client today just to understand this scenario. They husband and wife. The husband is on the deed, but he's not on the mortgage. The mortgage was on the wife's name when they closed, right? So at the end of the day, now the wife says, we're going to refinance this house, but she doesn't want to take out another mortgage. So he's saying to me, hey, you know what? And they took out a 4% mortgage 5 years ago. So she wants to get the mortgage off of her name. So because he's actually on the deed, we're actually saying he is an owner. Just that not so we could actually close with that person being on the deed itself. They don't have to be on the mortgage.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But the room is not qualified. Only has to be the
Yes,
the whole.
we're not doing
Yeah.
rooms by shared rooms or
The house.
boarding houses
yeah.
or anything along those lines.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you very much.
thank you,
You're
Andini.
welcome.
Sean Colby.
Hold on that room note. Does Airbnb qualify for this, or
That's a good question.
good question.
Jerry, Airbnb.
because
property.
Airbnb usually you're gonna rent out a room a lot more expensive, maybe even at the price of the house of the whole house. Would that qualify or not? Even if they show bank statements.
So when it comes to Airbnb as an example, when we know, so there's the twist here, which I'm very good at. When we're talking about when we're going to send an appraiser in, the house is furnished, right?
Right.
But the answer is it's supposed to be something of long term, right? So we need to look at the short term rental that it actually is considered long term. Okay. What do we do about that? I do this all the time. Somebody stayed the weekend. The cleaners want to come in on Monday morning, but we don't let them come in on Monday morning. We let the appraiser come in on Monday morning when the price is still a mess. The appraiser takes the pictures and they're going to explain to you as I tell people in the short-term rental market. Guys, the house is supposed to look lived in, right? That's what we want. We want it to look like somebody lives there. And what does that mean? That means there's, the dishes are in the sink. The bathroom has toothpaste and a hairbrush, right?
Mhm.
And of course, you know what? The idea of the beds are not made. I once had a client calls me, goes, oh, I want to refinance this house, Jerry. Okay, fine. Send an appraiser. He had all 3 bedrooms with the same bedspread, nicely tucked. And these are the pictures on the appraisal. I go, are you killing me? This is just
The homeowners are clean. The homeowner is cleanliness.
It's organized,
They're
yeah.
organized.
it's organized.
You're
With
gonna
the same
pay,
bedspread.
you're gonna penalize them for being organized.
Yep.
Jerry.
Just, maybe
Wow.
they have OCD. Same bedspread everywhere.
No. So, but Jerry, so do you? So I guess the question was in Airbnb. Do you look at
We
the?
could we could make an Airbnb work, just to tell you. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
No, I think what's missing in translation is not
It's
if
the rental
Airbnb.
income. What?
They want to know if you could qualify them based on the income from the Airbnb.
Of the
Not
Airbnb.
Yes, the rental income.
Okay, so I had that same question actually asked me not long ago. We can't qualify the rental income on the Airbnb.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna use the qualifying rental income on a DSCR loan, which is going to be the fair market rent.
Got it. Okay,
Understood.
that makes sense.
Now, Sean Comby has another question. Does size matter?
Sean Comey.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm
Wait
just
for
kidding.
the
Go.
answer.
Sean Comey says, "Really? So this is more a comment. Really, no lender is asking to place any loan on a second at all, from what he sees. Right? They always want the first,
That's very true.
right? Which is true. Sean Comey, you're 100% correct. No one really wants to come in as a second. I tell these guys all the time, shut it down. He wants a second. You know what? Unless it have a 700 score, shut it down. Now there's an outlet for it, a 660 score. Jay, you want to read Jay's what Jay's asking or saying?
Yeah. So Jay wrote, there would be a lot of interest here in California. Is there a plan to bring this program to California?
They got to
Or is
change the
there a legal
governor,
issue?
according to Albert.
Is there a legal issue? Jerry, tell us why not Cali at this moment?
So again, California, as we all understand, there are certain states out there where they want you to be licensed in the banking world, or they want you to have a brick and mortar location within. Come and take a look at it.
Yeah.
In the commercial world, we have opportunities to.
No way.
Yeah.
Albert left and it was
Yeah.
good for a while.
We are good for a while.
Jerry.
Bro.
It's 8:01 and it froze.
Bro, but
Oh, we're back? No.
It looks like you.
Could it be Jerry's
100%
connection?
answer is the governor. For Avi's question. The governor of California fucked everything up.
Yeah, only the Democrats mess up, guys. Only. I don't even support either party that much.
It's coming back on. It's coming back on. It's coming back on. It's coming back on.
We broke it again.
No, you broke it again, but we're good. You know what it was? It was
Breaking the
because
internet.
the time that we usually cut off, but we are continuing the segment because I think this is very informative
Did you
and
hear my
very.
answer though?
I did not hear your answer. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Say that again about
let's
California.
go back to the answer. So
Yeah.
we were talking about California, Nevada, Arizona, just using it out there.
Okay.
The state banking department. The state banking department has not opened it up that we could do commercial business loans in a second position in this time.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Makes sense. Next one is Gabe. You asked how many points can we make? Gabe. No, when we give you the approval, when you submit the deal, we give you the approval, we lay it all out on the term sheet of what the points are, what the compensation is.
Jose, I love that. You know what? And I right away, brokers. All they want to know is how much, what kind of points.
As they should, as
the
they should.
bottom
Listen,
line.
as they should.
The
Everyone,
bottom
listen, I
line.
can't blame anyone for wanting to know what their compensation is going to be. Now, next one, Sean Comey. I hear the Coca-Cola commercial sound. Just as long as the current lender place is A-OK with the second. Huh?
So I think he's asking,
I
will
understand
the,
what he's looking,
yeah,
what he wants.
Yeah.
like, will the first position have a problem with the second position, basically? Like, what?
The first position lender.
We'll never know.
Let me explain. I'm not saying that they will or they will not. The answer is most first position lenders do not want anybody to be, of course, in a second position
Correct.
underneath them in a business purpose side. The answer behind that, though, is in the second position is that there's no way that the first position company is actually going to call the loan
Yeah.
just because you took out a second mortgage for $50,000, $100,000. They have, for what reason? If you've been making your payments on time for the last 4 years, I mean, and especially, it will make no sense at the end of the day.
Now, Jerry, quick question. Can actually a first position lender find out that you took out a second position? I only asked that because I know that on the business lending side or the merchant cash advance side, the first position lender would never know. It's always the lender that knows is the lender that comes behind.
I didn't even know that.
Right?
Yeah, everybody that comes behind knows.
Jerry, you were gonna answer.
No, you're 100% correct. The answer is that the first position lender would not know.
Okay.
Okay, they, in a very extreme scenario. I mean, first of all, let me give you an understanding. The first position lender, most of these debt service business loans are all being serviced by a servicing company.
Correct.
Okay, whoever that is. At the lender itself, the person who actually provided the actual capital money, has no idea what's going on.
Correct. Right. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Next question, because we do
Hold
have a
on,
couple.
Can I interject for 2 seconds on that? On just to put a little bit more clarity on that. The first position never cares about the second, because first position means if a client defaults, they're the first one to get paid, and that doesn't change. The second position is always the one that's worried. That's why majority of lenders will always ask to be in first position, because God forbid you default and go through a hardship, they're the first one to get paid. The second, now, if a second position wants to be a first position, that's where the problem is. Because, like I said, everybody wants to make sure they get paid first.
Correct.
That's the simple version.
Okay. Right. No,
That's correct.
Stanley.
I mean,
Yeah,
at
you're right.
the end of the day, listen, besides the bank getting paid first, we all know municipal taxes get paid first.
Yeah,
Right.
HOA and taxes,
Right.
right?
HOA and
Yeah.
taxes get paid first.
Correct.
Then the bank gets paid.
HOA.
And then, maybe the second position guy makes $1, at 10 cents on the dollar.
Now,
That's the truth.
Peter asked what states is available, which states are not.
Yeah, we're gonna
So we're
provide
gonna
all the
provide that.
information. Yeah,
Yeah, we're providing those guidelines. We're
by
gonna
Monday. Yeah, not
by
not
Monday
tomorrow.
we will have the guidelines, underwriting guidelines, credit score, We already mentioned Jerry 660 score, but we will go ahead and provide what states they're available and what states they are not. Sean Colby, we'll move on past that.
He asked about size again. I don't know what his
RS
thing is.
Solutions on a fourplex. Can the client be living in one of the units? I know the answer, but Jerry, can you please answer that question first?
We touched base on that a little bit
Yeah,
earlier.
Joe answered that a little bit.
You know, we kind of say the answer is yes. Okay. What we do want it to do is that we're going to go ahead. It is supposed to be a non-owner occupied loan. If there's 3 units or 4 units and somebody lives in the first one, well, that's okay. We're going to end up closing this loan. We're going to actually, we're going to fudge around a little bit, but we're going to make it happen. What we want here is, let me explain, when the appraiser walks in the door and the person who opens up the door, we don't want a big family photo of them actually sitting in the living room.
Wait, Jerry, so you're telling me that if someone closes it as an FHA loan on a 4-family, let's say a 3-family, you can still go ahead and do that even though there's rental
We
income
can,
being
because
collected?
we're going to actually show that they're collecting the income on the other 3 units. And then we're going to show that on their personal unit that they have a rent cash receipt of that of monthly income coming in.
I love you, Jerry.
Even if they live in the property.
Gosh, I want to do it myself.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I didn't even know that. Okay. Great. Look, I'm speechless. All right.
I'm giving you diamonds.
Gems.
That's not even
That's what
diamonds.
it is. All right. Next question, Jay. Thank you, Jay. And
Oh,
Sean
we froze.
Comey.
Perfect time to freeze. Look at our faces. Yeah.
Let me see Joe's face. Everybody's smiling. That's fine. What is happening?
Radical. What's wrong, bro?
It's 100% radical, bro. 100% you, bro. It can't be anybody else, bro. All right, so we're gonna blame Spectrum or whatever the fuck the internet provider is.
That's what it is. Think about it. We're doing it on the
All right, ready?
with all these people.
We're coming back, bro. Gotta mute there.
Mr. Stanley, how are you, my buddy?
Stanley picks up when we
Stand
drop.
I like our random
really
backdrop.
You're really giving us a lot of gems. And just a sidebar to all the marketers and brokers out there, make your marketing very simple. You don't have to sell the product. The product sells itself.
Yes.
Both letters, second mortgage on investor properties, 1 to 4. Call me now.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
simple.
As easy as it gets.
That's it.
Yeah, listen, yeah, and Stanley, I'm glad you
You don't need to be Coca-Cola.
Stanley, I am glad that you say that because that just keep it short and simple. Short and simple is, you know what? Second position, no income documentation funding. Right, Jerry? I think that's really what the banner is, right?
As easy as it gets. Most brokers are fishing on a dry
Yeah.
pond, right? Jerry's just here to show us where the water is. Just
That's
go
it.
fishing.
Fishing in a dry
Like,
pond.
literally.
That's the
Jerry,
realest
show us the
thing I've
water,
heard.
Jerry. All right. Well,
Listen, I can lead you to the water. Somebody got a drink.
there you go.
Well said.
Now, Jerry, usually we end this segment at 8:00. I mean, unless anyone, we have more questions from everyone.
Any more questions? From the
Any more
community?
questions? If not, I just want to go ahead and just say this because I just wrapping it up. First of all, Jerry, thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking the time. Ladies and gentlemen in the community, understand this, that anything that we have, we are willing to go ahead and provide you with the information, give you the resources, give you the knowledge. All you have to do is learn the product, understand the product, ask us questions. We're here for it. Listen, Jerry, thank you again. Took the time to be able to sit down with us. He's excited about this. The community, he's excited about you guys. He's excited to learn and to see what you guys can actually do. Because we spoke to Jerry. Jerry, where are you based out of? I don't think I asked you that. Where are you based out of?
I'm in the land of the great adventure, Jackson, New Jersey.
Jackson, New Jersey.
Nice.
Stanley and I took a trip out to New Jersey. We went to a convention. We met Jerry. Jerry's one of I actually spoke to
We
Jerry
did.
a couple of I spoke to Jerry a couple of times before, not knowing who he was. Jerry and I, we were even talking about the business lines of credit, no income documentation funding programs. But this is for you. This is the reason why we do this is for you, because we want to make sure that you understand, you have the programs, you have the guidelines, you have the knowledge, so that you don't have to go and spend whatever that ticket cost. You don't have to go and take a flight to New Jersey. You don't have to go and spend money on a hotel room. You don't have to go and spend money on a casino. I played a little bit. But you don't have to do all of that. We're here to make it easy for you. Use us. And when you take advantage, when you actually participate and take advantage of Jerry, right? And he's only the first lender that we work with that we're going to bring on. Take advantage. Ask all the questions so that you can now become more knowledgeable. He's exciting. He's an exciting person. Jerry, I love the energy that you brought in. Amazing. Just even his smile. Jerry loves a smile. Look at that. So, Jerry, thank you again. And just to wrap it up, let's be
Hold
clear.
on, hold on. Let me, as my word is interject today.
Yes, sir.
Jerry,
You have a
we have
close
this.
statement.
We have this thing we do called live dive, right?
Mm.
Where we have a day that people come on with deals and we live underwrite it. Is it possible we make an announcement to the community, tell them, yo, Jerry's going to be on one of these Tuesdays, one of these Wednesdays. If you have a deal that fits this box, you could jump on the Zoom and they can actually speak to you, run you through the deal, and you decide then and there if it's worth submitting. Would you be willing to join a live dive?
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in joining that. And at the end of the day, tomorrow you guys are gonna have, like we already discussed, simple intake questionnaire. Same
Yes.
thing you guys have, call it a pricer, right? You're gonna have the states that we're not funding in currently right now. And all we gotta do is work out the numbers. That's
So,
it.
ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to go ahead. You're going to have all this information beforehand. Jerry, if possible, and you have to let us know, Jerry, if you can. We would love it. We would love for you to come and join us. As Stanley mentioned, next Tuesday.
Let's not do too. We got to let the whole community know because we got to have a show out for this. Only reason I say
Okay.
that is 4th of July weekend. People come in sluggish on Monday. I want everyone that isn't on right now to have time to watch playback,
Okay.
understand it. So let's make it not this
Fair
Tuesday,
enough.
next Tuesday, so we can have enough people have time to find the client, dig through their leads that this program fits, and they
Yeah.
bring it to the table.
Yeah, and I'm
Well,
gonna create a.
yeah, I mean, I think that's a great answer. I mean, first of all,
Yes.
the 15th is a great day. I like the 15th. I think.
And, yeah. Yes. And what we're going to do also too on our end, we're going to make sure everyone within the community, anyone that we actually have access to that does send us over deals, they will be on Jerry. This means that you're going to get a lot of deals that day. You can handle it. Jerry, can you handle the deal flow?
And again, as what I do is, we're gonna handle every deal. We're gonna be in touch with everybody. We're all gonna work together. I got a full processing team.
Nice.
They're gonna help with everybody. You know what? We could do what we need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
We could even, if people need help that they actually do want to market this, we could also help them with marketing. We could brand information that they could have their name, their number, their email on
Right.
that, and they could actually use that in order to try to bring in their own business.
Yeah, we're certainly gonna provide that within the community.
Yeah. Listen, we give resources to everyone. So everything from a landing page to everything else. But yes, we are going to provide everything. We're going to make sure that not this Tuesday, next Tuesday is when we want to launch it. But obviously, we all have to coordinate. Let's find out when that works for everyone. Everyone will be receive an email within the community.
And that's July 15th for everybody.
Correct.
July
You'll
15th.
receive an email in the community, also to text messages and an email in your personal email as well, whatever you have in our system. But just to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. This isn't a dead market. Everyone runs away from mortgages because the rates are increasing. Rates are too high. It's a smart market, right? If you know where the money is and if you know how to prep your borrowers and you know how to work correctly with your lenders, you'll win big commissions, right? Just find out what your clients need. Align yourself with the correct lenders, just like Jerry. Put yourself in a position that no one knows what the products are. No one can touch you. And I can assure you, no one will touch you. No one will take away a client from you because you're going to make a lot of money because you're aligned with the right people. Once again, this is what Brokers Connections Group does, is align you with the correct resources, the correct individuals, the correct lenders, so you can make money.
I want to add on to that.
Yes.
So, I go to the beach a lot. A lot of my friends surf. So, when there's choppy waters, when the waves are crazy, there's not a lot of people out there. So to us, we say, hey, it's more space for us. There's more waves for us. And honestly, that's the real estate market right now. It's not the easiest, but a lot of people just gave up. A lot of people quit. A lot of realtors I know, they're out the game. A lot of loan officers I know, they're out the game. To me, it's not easy right now. It's better for us. Like, we don't have a lot of competition. A lot of people gave up. A lot of people quit. So there's a lot more clientele for us. There's a lot more people that need our services. So, when everyone's panicking and running away, if it's the real estate market, the stock market, whatever, that's the time to dive in and enjoy the waves. And that's,
There you
that's
go.
my 2 cents.
Jerry, do you have any last words of encouragement or any type of I don't know, just words of motivational words of encouragement, or anything you want to say to the newcomers, to the community? What would you say just to send us off?
Okay, so listen, like I said, this is a great product. You're not going to find a lot of people out there that have this particular product today. Okay, I'm one of the few people that I can tell you that honestly does have it. Especially when it comes understanding it's not a HELOC, it's not a line of credit, it's a debt service loan for investors. And the answer is that this actually helps people getting the money that they need. We could literally close in 30 days or less. We get all the docs that we need. We have no problems. Again, we could help whatever the broker needs. We could help on their side as well. We will collect title for them. We'll collect insurance for them. Processing team is pretty sufficient about getting what they need in order to go after it.
Perfect. Jerry, we want to send you off. Stanley, I think, has something to say. We lost Stanley, but this, Jerry, you want to
No. We lost
went off.
everybody.
Oh, we
bro.
froze again.
As soon as Jerry talks, bro.
Oh, we're back? Oh, no, that's just a sound effect. So.
Mr. Jerry.
Hey, Stanley's talking.
Dios mío.
He's carrying. We good.
At least that, yeah.
Yeah, Stanley should be talking right now.
Nah, he is. The mic is moving.
Bro.
Unmute,
Yeah.
bro. And spotlight, please, bro.
I don't want to say, today, but people that closed in business 5 years ago, 4 years ago, these people actually have very low interest rates. And the answer is that they are looking for equity. How do they get the equity out of that house? How do they actually, again, get to the next property, if you understand, right? That's the bottom line. The way I built a real estate portfolio for myself was leveraging my properties. When anytime I was able to pull money out, I pulled money out. But then I had to actually always close in another first position.
Yeah.
This allows somebody to go ahead, pull money out, get that down payment, get into a new hard money bridge loan, and then do a debt service refinance later on down the road. The beauty of real estate, people, if you're not actually thinking about it, you're thinking, and then it's the wrong way you think.
That's it. And finally, thank you very much, everyone. Remember, brokers blame lenders, lenders blame brokers. But at the end of the day, we're here to stay, regardless of what it is. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week. And we look forward to bringing everyone for a live dive with Jerry. Jerry, thank you again.
Live dive with Jerry.
Everybody that's on, have a great holiday weekend. It's Friday the 4th.
And stay
Everybody, you can
safe.
party all night Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Network. Remember, you have a you now have a program. Second position.
Network.
Network. That's it.
Let me tell you this. And again, you want to know, this is the best scenario. Everybody's sitting around on July 4th. They're all in somebody's house. They're all at some sort of barbecue.
Mhm.
But you know what they're all on? They're all on social media.
Yes.
They're all sitting there. Now is the time. That's when you get your word out to people.
Correct.
Because everybody's sitting at their phone that day.
Jerry, thank you again very much for joining us. And we look forward to having you again. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Jerry.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you,
Happy
everyone.
4th of July, everyone.
Happy holiday, everyone.